In this eye-opening narrative, we consider economic decline, social unrest, and environmental dangers, inviting you to weigh the promise of a fresh start against the stark realities behind the statistics. Have you ever wondered if the dream of a better life in a new city might hide unexpected challenges? Our journey begins in the heart of the American Midwest, where once thriving cities now tell a tale of hardship and decline. Today, we explore a data-driven journey across 26 U.S. locations projected to face significant relocation issues by 2026. Consider Detroit, Michigan, a city that was once the proud capital of the automotive industry. Over the decades, economic shifts have led to high unemployment and urban decay. With nearly 1 in 10 residents out of work and more than a third of its inhabitants living in poverty, Detroit's struggle is a significant reminder that even legends can fall. This isn't just another story of a city in distress. It is a striking example that underpins the complexities behind a relocation decision. Not far from Detroit, Flint, Michigan, presents another narrative of caution. Known for its severe water crisis that began in 2014, Flint continues to grapple with deep economic challenges. The struggles here are more than just numbers. They represent a community whose daily life is impacted by lingering crisis and uncertainty. The data tell us that when essential services falter, the promise of a better future is overshadowed by systematic hardship. Cities like Flint force us to ask, is the prospect of a lower cost of living worth the compromise on fundamental well-being? As we move into the southern regions of the United States, our focus shifts to cities where public safety has become a major concern. St. Louis, Missouri, for instance, has earned a grim reputation with one of the highest murder rates in the country. With over 80 incidents per 100,000 residents, the threat of violence casts a long shadow over what might otherwise seem like an attractive relocation option. Similarly, Baltimore, Maryland, grapples with a persistent climate of violence. In recent years, with more than 200 homicides recorded, the very fabric of community life is strained under the relentless pressure of crime. In these cities, the numbers are not abstract. They represent real people, real lives, and real challenges that can disrupt any dream of a safe and thriving home. In the Deep South, cities such as Birmingham, Alabama, further illustrate the severity of the situation. Although it is a city with history and culture, Birmingham now faces one of the highest violent crime rates in the southern United States. With over 150 homicides reported in a relatively small community, the data drive home the reality that safety remains a major challenge. The specter of persistent violence in a place can quickly erode the promise of stability, making even the most appealing opportunities seem precarious. Then, there is Memphis, Tennessee, a city that defies size expectations with nearly 400 homicides in 2024 alone. Here, the stark statistics force us to reconsider the long-held belief that urban centers always offer the best opportunities. Memphis's experience underlines how economic disparities and a surge in violent crime can reshape the landscape of a place, turning an energetic hub into a battlefield of challenges. It is a somber reminder that behind every statistic lies a community in need of solutions that are as complex as the problems themselves. Turning our attention to the industrial heartland of America, we find Cleveland, Ohio. In Cleveland, nearly 30% of the population struggles with poverty, a figure that paints a grim picture of economic instability. High crime rates, under-resourced public schools, and aging infrastructure combine to create an environment fraught with obstacles for both longtime residents and potential newcomers. As you weigh the factors of opportunity against the backdrop of persistent challenges, Cleveland's experience offers a critical lesson in how interconnected issues can diminish the quality of life. A short drive takes us to Gary, Indiana, a city that stands as a symbol of industrial decline. In Gary, abandoned factories and deteriorating housing are more than relics of the past. They are indicators of a future that appears bleak to many. With extremely high unemployment and one of the nation's most alarming violent crime rates, Gary is a clear case where economic and social hurdles intersect. The city's struggle serves as a cautionary tale about the hazards of relying solely on historical economic strengths when preparing for life's unpredictable challenges. In a different part of our nation, we encounter Fresno, California. Although the Golden State is often synonymous with opportunity, cities like Fresno reveal a more complicated narrative. Elevated violent crime rates, pervasive air pollution, and a strong gang presence all contribute to a troubling portrait of urban life. Crucial institutions such as public schools and healthcare facilities are under strain, and environmental health issues add yet another layer of concern. For families and individuals seeking a place where quality of life is high, Fresno's challenges are a sober reminder that location matters, and that beauty and promise must be weighed carefully against risk factors. Further south, Little Rock, Arkansas confronts similar issues. With rising crime, limited job growth, and escalating poverty, this capital city does not live up to the idealized image of Southern hospitality many might expect. Increasing rates of violent incidents such as carjackings and shootings intensify the cautionary signals. Little Rock's downward trend forces potential movers to take a hard look at the promises of prosperity and balance them against a reality that is becoming increasingly fraught with hardship. The cautionary tales continue along the West Coast. Stockton, California, has emerged as a city marked by a significant exodus of residents seeking better opportunities elsewhere. Its composite relocation score, driven by a high volume of moving out searches, suggests a collective decision to seek alternatives. The data from Stockton serve as a wake-up call, showing that even in an age where information is at our fingertips, the allure of a new beginning must be tempered by an honest evaluation of existing challenges. Looking toward the upper Midwest, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, commands attention with its stark statistic, a violent crime rate that places it among the most dangerous cities in the nation. Here, the efforts of community leaders to improve public safety and law enforcement effectiveness are challenged by ingrained structural issues. For residents and potential movers alike, Milwaukee's struggle illustrates the difficult balance between hope and hardship, progress and persistent risk. Kansas City, Missouri, presents another facet of urban challenge. In 2024, the city recorded a surge in violent offenses and an alarming number of non-fatal shootings, paired with a significant count of homicides. Kansas City's situation underscores the complex interplay between rising crime and community efforts to maintain order, urging anyone considering relocation to deeply analyze the sustainable quality of life available in such environments. No conversation about relocation pitfalls is complete without mentioning Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Once a vibrant hub of American history and culture, Philadelphia now faces steady decline. Between 2020 and 2023, the city experienced a significant population loss, reflecting residents' growing disillusionment with local conditions. The decline in population is not merely a statistic, but an indicator of deeper issues: economic challenges, public safety concerns, and deteriorating infrastructure that can influence a potential mover's decision profoundly. Newark, New Jersey, though known for its transportation hubs and cultural landmarks, is a city where high unemployment and lingering poverty challenge its image as a place of opportunity. The stark economic disparity in Newark forces us to consider that even cities with historical vibrancy can quickly become environments where everyday life is overshadowed by insecurity and limited prospects. In a similar vein, Camden, New Jersey, faces severe economic issues combined with high crime rates and insufficient health care. Camden exemplifies the complex tapestry of urban decline where industrial history cannot shield the present from difficulties. When a city struggles to provide for its most basic needs, it raises critical questions for anyone contemplating a move in search of a better life. As we journey further south, Pine Bluff, Arkansas presents a picture of long-term hardship. With poverty and unemployment rates that have remained stubbornly high for decades, the city's experience of generational struggle is a profound warning for potential movers. Pine Bluff is not simply another dot on the map. It is a community where deep-rooted challenges have steadily undermined prospects for progress and prosperity. While many of the cities discussed so far paint a picture of decline, even locations that seem to have charm carry hidden complexities. Take Honolulu, Hawaii, for example. Known for its idyllic landscapes and pleasant climate, Honolulu hides a set of challenges that include a moderate crime rate and economic pressures that may not be apparent at first glance. With a composite score that suggests room for improvement, Honolulu reminds us that beauty does not always guarantee security or growth. Turning to New England, Springfield, Massachusetts delivers another cautionary chapter. With a composite score that reflects significant crime and an unemployment rate that weighs on its future, Springfield stands as a case where persistent social and economic challenges coexist. Potential movers must reconcile the city's historical allure with a realistic appraisal of what contemporary life demands and offers. Macon, Georgia, similarly offers a mixed picture. Although steeped in history and Southern charm, Macon's statistics, reflecting high crime and persistent economic constraints, serve as a sobering reminder that even cities with cultural appeal can pose considerable risks. Every potential benefit is tempered by the harsh reality that a community not built on solid economic foundations may struggle to attract lasting prosperity. Pueblo, Colorado, introduces another perspective. While it may seem appealing on the surface, with a composite relocation score that suggests challenges, Pueblo carries a significant burden in the form of crime and unemployment. Data from Pueblo urge careful deliberation. Is the cost of lower living expenses worth the compromises on safety and economic stability? Rockford, Illinois, further commands our attention with its high composite score and record of troubling statistics. Marked by a high crime rate and the nation's highest unemployment rate among similarly sized cities, Rockford tells a difficult story. It is a city where the very hope of rebuilding and revitalizing has been consistently undermined by entrenched social challenges. Lastly, we delve into an unsettling prediction for cities like Louisville in Kentucky, New Haven in Connecticut, and Syracuse in New York. Though these locations may not currently exhibit dramatic declines in population or economic vitality, trends and forecasts warn of potential future challenges. The quiet but persistent warning in these statistics compels anyone thinking of relocating to examine not just present conditions, but also the trajectory of change that might erode the quality of life over time. Throughout our exploration, one thing is clear. The promise of a new life in a new place must be measured against more than just hopeful prospects. The data from these 26 locations reveal a complex interplay of economic hardships, social instability, and environmental concerns. Each statistic represents not only a number, but the lived experience of thousands who face daily struggles. The tension between the allure of a fresh start and the harsh realities etched in data is the central conflict we must understand. In closing, the insights we have discussed are not meant to invoke fear, but to encourage careful, deliberate decision-making. As economic, social, and environmental challenges converge, the dream of relocation demands sober evaluation. The data we've shared serve as a guide, a beacon urging us to look deeper, to question assumptions, and most importantly, to ensure that our future is built on solid, sustainable foundations. Stay informed and make the best decision for your future by understanding the potential pitfalls of relocating to these areas.